Hey guys, welcome back to Inchworm Gardens. Today is June 9th, 2021. I'm here in Tennessee, Zone 7. It's a warm 79 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's been 80% humidity. Very humid here, very warm, and we got a little garden project to do today, so I thought I would take you along on that. We're gonna be cleaning up these peas back here. I got Wesley, my 3-year-old helper. Let's get started.
Right here.
There you are. All right, let's get started. So we've been enjoying these peas for the past couple months. They were delicious. We've harvested tons and tons of them, but as the heat and humidity is rolling in, they are on their way out. As you can see, they're just kind of yellowing. They're not really producing any more peas, and even worse, we're getting some powdery mildew. And we don't want this to spread to any other plants, so it is time to get rid of these peas. You been enjoying the peas, Wesley?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been really, really good. And we've got some really heavy rain, which has kind of knocked these guys down, as you can see. Pretty much slumped over. Wesley's picking the final little peas he can find on there. But this is a perfect opportunity for some succession planting. I want to talk a little bit about that. So succession planting is a great way to extend your harvest throughout the year. So instead of just planting one big crop at the beginning and then harvesting it and it's over, you are continually planting more plants, more seeds, and so that extends the harvest. So what we're going to do, we're going to take out these peas and we're going to plant some long beans. So that's going to replace that whole area where we have those peas growing. In a couple months we're going to have that full of long beans. So that's just a really great thing to keep in mind. And it can be kind of hard, especially as a new gardener, to think into the future like that, because you have to basically plan out when plants are going to be finishing their life cycle. Ideally, as soon as they're ready to go out, you have a new plant going in, and it continues that way. That's maximizing your space, maximizing your time. So that is something to just think with, keep in mind, and just observe your garden, see what, figure out the life cycle of these plants and be ready to plant something in their stead. Now plants like these tomatoes or peppers, they take the full season to really ripen all their fruit and produce. So you're not going to be succession planting these. You're not going to be removing these plants before the end of the season, at least in my zone. So you're not going to be able to do this with all plants, but especially your cooler crops, your radishes, your beets, your peas. These things you can harvest once and then plant something in its place. So just something to keep in mind. You can't do it with all plants, but figure out which ones you can do it with and make a little planting guide and figure it out. Just a little tip there. All right, Wes, you ready to take these peas down?
Yes. Of course, of course.
All right, so Wesley's getting in there, ripping them out. So we are gonna, okay, that's fine. I was gonna say we're not gonna rip out like all their roots, which they're not coming out anyway. It just kind of breaks off there because we don't want to disrupt the soil too much. There's no need to like dig them up because that's totally fine. Those roots are gonna decompose anyway. And I mentioned we were gonna plant long beans over by these back peas, but in this container I think we're gonna do some more cucumbers. We could probably fit maybe four to six plants in there, and they'll grow up that tomato cage just fine, and they'll be a nice little companion to the sunflower. Nice job, bud. All right, so we're gonna be planting the Marketmore 76 cucumbers in this pot right here. Wanna drop some in, Wes? So last time I planted 2 seeds per hole in that bucket over there, and I totally meant to thin them out, but I did not have the heart, so I kept them all. I only was going to plant 3 plants in here, but I kept all 6 of them, so that's fine. But this time I am only going to plant 1 per hole, and we should have 6 plants in here, and they should fit fine. So I just did a final harvest off of this group of peas right here, and one problem that I had was that this whole group kind of slumped over, and it trapped a lot of peas back here. So I actually had a lot more back here than I realized. So check out this little late harvest we got. Now they're in varying degrees of niceness. Some of them are kind of gross, and some of them are way past ready. These are snap peas, and they shouldn't be that big. But look at this. That's like the biggest snap pea I've ever seen. Isn't that crazy, Wes?
But eat this.
Pizza? Oh, that does look good. Here, let's open
It
this.
does look good.
Okay, well, hey, that's a good trade. What's inside there?
Okay, this pea.
So when they get to this size, they might be a little bit waxy, might not taste as good. What do you think, Wes? How do they taste? Still good? Nice. That is a huge snap pea. There's some other really big ones in there. Now if you have the space, you have the room, you could just let these dry on the vine and they could eventually turn into peas. They would dry and then you could save them for next year and plant them. What do you think, June? You like those peas? Yeah. You wanna try one?
A pea?
Yeah, we've all enjoyed these peas immensely, so it's a bummer to see them go, but that's totally fine. Maybe we'll try a fall crop this year. But these long beans we're going to put in their place. They're going to be really good for us. They grow really well down here in this zone. Now we're going to take these out a little bit more carefully than Wesley took out the last ones. I'm going to come down here and just cut each one of these at the ground level and then carefully pull them up. My pruners, and I'm just going to go through. And you can see each one of these little stems. I'm just going to clip them all at the base. Then we're going to go through and just gently pull them all out because we do have other plants planted around these, so we don't want them to damage.
Like melons over here.
You're right, melons over there, and we do need to open up some more air and light for them because they are getting kind of blocked by these peas. So it's really time for them to go. It's the correct thing to do. All right, so let's take a look at it all cleared out. So first you'll notice we did decide to keep one little bunch in the middle because those don't have any powdery mildew and they do still have quite a few blooms on them. So I think we'll get some more peas on this little bunch and they're not taking up too much room. But we cleared out that side and this side. And here's what we got. So these are some melons down there. They've been a little bit starved for light, so this will be good for them. But that's all good planting space. So all along here we can plant our beans, which will grow back up the trellis. And then over here I actually had some sweet peas, which is a flower. I think this is the Mammoth Salmon variety. This is like a pink flower. So these were completely being smothered by those peas. So now they'll have a chance to actually crawl up and flower. And then there was a couple other plants over here just struggling a little bit, they were just too tight, didn't have enough airflow or sun. So hopefully everyone picks up and does well after this little change. It's a needed part of gardening. You gotta maintain and clean things up, keep things moving. It's an ever growing and evolving process. All right guys, that's it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me doing that chore. We're gonna get these long beans planted. We're doing the Thai purple potted yard long, the Thai soldier, and a green Japanese variety. So me and Wesley are going to get these planted and we'll keep you updated. Thanks again for watching, guys. Catch you on the next one.